WOCA.
All right, thank you. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in to The Source, WOCA, this Monday morning, the first Monday of October, and it feels like October, doesn't it? 65 degrees here at the studios, broadcasting live, by the way, just outside the WOCA commentary here at the Paddock Mall.
Yeah,
almost like what I say. Oh, no, it's 63. It actually dropped 2 degrees. Look at that.
Okay.
What is the forecast for today? 20% chance of rain, highs in the lower 80s. It's not too bad.
It's good out there.
10% chance of rain tomorrow, highs tomorrow in the lower 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, a 10% chance of rain, highs in the mid 80s.
Oh, okay.
Thursday, highs, let's see, in the mid to upper 80s, so it gets warmer toward the end of the week.
But the 80s in October are different than the 80s in July. They really are.
Sometimes, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But 80s are never bad. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hurricane Joaquin is, I guess, no big deal anymore. But it is the currents that, I don't know. I don't know if the hurricane is causing the currents or the currents are
the riptides, the rip currents.
I don't mean the water currents. I mean the air currents.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, that's what's causing all the problems in Carolina. Which, by the way, we were not in Carolina, but we were on the outskirts of the rain from that. So we didn't get anywhere near the amount of rain, but we certainly had our whole visit to Chattanooga was rain. There wasn't a day where we had no rain.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, even yesterday, probably halfway through Georgia, it was raining. Finally got to the Sunshine State, and it was sunshiny.
Yes, it was.
It was weird. It was like you go across the line. It was just about. We a few miles north of the state line, it started to get clear, and you get to the state line. It's like, wow, it's living up to its name today. It was sunshine.
Right.
After having been in rain for 4 days. So let me start with that, I guess, with the flood thing.
Okay.
How many people? Do we know how many people died? I don't remember.
No.
Let's see. Let me get to the flood thing. Over the weekend, a major rainstorm hit South Carolina. See, some houses were knocked down.
Yeah.
Hurricane Joaquin passed by the East Coast. More rain. The two separate storms caused the worst floods the state has seen in 1,000 years.
Gosh.
1,000 years. I wonder if they came up with that number scientifically, or they just said we don't have any records like this.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. They
didn't want to say 2,000 years.
Yeah.
They don't know about that.
No, but
1,000 years. 1,000 years.
Of course.
What year was that, Robin? 1,000 years ago.
What is it?
10, 15? It was the year 1015.
Yep, 1000.
I don't know if we even know what was going on back then.
Yeah, exactly.
When did Columbus come over here? 1492?
Yes, exactly.
They just picked that number.
Yeah. I mean, the ocean was probably not the way the ocean is now, for back then, because they say the continents were all together and there wasn't that much thing, and everything.
That was a gazillion. Anyway, I think they picked that.
It's too far.
Let's say at least 5 people have died. There's that number. Tens of thousands are without power. Major highways have been completely closed. They've got a campaign called Turn Around, Don't Drown going on up there in South Carolina.
Gosh.
We were with a lot of the representatives from schools this past weekend. I'll explain what we did if you want to know. But we went to the National Association of Campus Activities Conference in Chattanooga, which includes Florida, Georgia, Alabama, I think Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I believe that's the whole area that was covered. And so a lot of the students and staff from South Carolina went back to like the worst flooding, but they were in Chattanooga while this was going on.
That's where the NACA offices are, and you even got a tweet from them saying their offices would be closed today because of the flooding.
Right.
I can't get to
Anyway, although Hurricane Joaquin probably won't hit the U.S., well, we know that. It's done a lot of damage in other places. Last week, a cargo ship, you heard about this, with 33 people on board went missing in the middle of the hurricane near the Bahamas. Yesterday, search and rescue teams found debris they say is most likely from the ship.
Gosh.
So there you go. There is a large debris field in the Caribbean. Is it the remains of El Faro? The U.S. Coast Guard found debris yesterday during its search for the El Faro, a container ship that disappeared last week near the Bahamas. as Hurricane Joaquin raged nearby. The debris field consisted of styrofoam, wood, and cargo. And oil sheen, life jackets, and containers were also found in the same area. Wow. A crew of 28 Americans and 5 Polish nationals were on board.
Wow. Gosh.
Another thing that was upsetting people over the weekend, the shooting in Oregon. And P.S., we were with schools. We were with students.
Yes.
And so as this news broke, obviously it had it reverberated, I guess you could say, through the group we were with. The gunman showed no mercy. Not only did the man in last week's shooting at the college in Oregon kill 9 people, one of his victims was a woman who used a wheelchair. One of the survivors, a mom of 3 who was shot in the hand, said the killer ordered the woman in the wheelchair to the ground, so she dropped to the floor, but then he told her to get back into the chair. As she tried to climb back into the chair, he shot her.
Oh.
Horrible.
It is absolutely horrible. And they're being motivated by the bad guys to do this, by ISIS. This is absolutely
maybe not. I mean, you never know. We just have bad people in this world.
Yeah, but this is absolutely horrible.
Let's see. Recently, tensions have been higher than usual between Israelis and Palestinians. Last week, an Israeli couple was killed in a shooting in the West Bank. It was good to be away from the news for a while, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it was.
Then over the weekend, a Palestinian man killed 2 Israelis in a knife attack in Jerusalem's Old City. Old City, the part of Jerusalem with sites holy to both Jews and Muslims. In reaction to the attacks yesterday, Israeli President Netanyahu said he would wage a harsh offensive against Palestinian Islamic terrorism, and Israel temporarily restricted access to the Old City for some Palestinians, which is controversial, by the way. Palestinians see that as part of their future state. It's East Jerusalem. Anyway, this all comes less than a week after Palestinian Authority President Abbas gave a speech at the UN in which he said goodbye to long-standing peace accords between Israel and Palestinian leaders, blaming Israel for violating the agreement. Bottom line, the neighborhood is not too good. Wow. It was good to be away from the news.
It was.
I mean, it's not that I wasn't paying attention to it. It's just that I was like skimming over it.
Yes.
You know, I wasn't getting deep into it. Because we had our own agenda we had to pay attention to.
Oh, yeah. We had a lot of things we had to do and times we had to be places, and it was...
and then finally, let's see. I do want to get to the thing about the Koch brothers. And I want to tell you my thought about the dogs, too.
Yes.
Based on my own experience with my own dog. Where was the piece I had? I had some information about that hospital here.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Over the weekend, a Polish priest said he was gay, to which the Vatican said, "You're fired." The priest made his announcement just as the Vatican is kicking off its synod, an annual weeks-long work retreat for bishops, and you educated me somewhat on what the word synod means. I've heard it a lot, the word synod.
Yeah.
Didn't quite. It just means a group of bishops, right?
Right, exactly. According, in the Catholic Church. Yeah.
After the announcement, the Vatican sent the priest away. The Catholic Church has never been okay with same-sex marriage, but Pope Francis has been sending some mixed signals about it. 2 years ago, he hinted that he might be more accepting of gay priests. Then during his visit to the U.S. last month, he quietly met with Kim Davis, the Kentucky county clerk who refused to give marriage licenses. I thought that was a lie. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. When you read stuff on Facebook, you don't know what's true and what's not. Don't trust Facebook for any news.
Exactly. I mean, have we gotten an official release from the Vatican? So
on that same trip, he met with a former student who's openly gay and his brother, but this weekend's news means the church won't be handing out rainbow robes to priests. And where's the thing about the... Let's see. Oh, here it is. Last week, Kunduz was taken over by the Taliban. It was the biggest win for the group since getting kicked out of power during the U.S. invasion in 2001. Afghan troops have been fighting with the help of their U.S. Special Ops friends to take back the city. On Saturday, as you know, this is the big news, the Doctors Without Borders hospital there was hit by an airstrike. 10 patients and 12 staff members were killed.
Yeah.
Who did it? It depends who you ask.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. This is WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident for today. Times of clouds and sun with a passing afternoon shower. The high today 80 to 84, and partly cloudy tonight, low 65 to 69. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun. There can still be a couple of showers along the coast. The high 81 to 85. On Wednesday, partly sunny. There may be a shower in spots, mainly in the afternoon over the interior. The high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
The defending Sprint Cup Series champion had to win to move on. He did just that. I'm Joe Moore. This is the Monday Morning Race Refresher, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Open a Coke and enjoy the race.
Coca-Cola Racing Family Road Trip.
NASCAR Confessionals. Driver's log, day 3. Tony Stewart here. We've been on the road for 72 hours, and I think someone's stealing sips from my Coca-Cola. Day 7. It happened again. I opened a Coke, and I turned around. It was almost half gone. Day 14. I decided to use my phone as a hidden camera. Greg Biffle owes me 10.5 bottles of Coke.
Coca-Cola, open happiness. Official soft drink of NASCAR.
Defending NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion Kevin Harvick came into the Dover race yesterday knowing he had to win. That was the only way he would move on into round 2 of the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. He not only won, he dominated the AAA 400, leading 355 of the 400 laps.
You know, we're on the verge of being down and out for this one, and to be able to pull this off is just one of those moments that you enjoy. I told people before this, it's a lot of fun to be in these situations and succeed. When you don't succeed, it's not near as much fun, but it just makes them extra special. You know, I think we're just going to